Nobody can stop me, nobody can hold me, nobody control me. I'm coming! I'm here to do my thing, I'm here to bring the pain. I'm never ever gonna change. Like Tropicana, I got the juice. All for the least, they let the dog loose. Don't make me call up the crew. Now they getting scared, wanna call up a truce. I'm the one like Neil, cocky like Teal. Nobody can guard me like I'm shooting a free throw. This is illegal, my flow is legal. And it's me, it will never be a secret. I'm coming! Nobody can stop me, nobody can hold me, nobody control me. I'm coming! I'm here to do my thing, I'm here to bring the pain. I'm never ever gonna change. I'm coming! Nobody can stop me, nobody can hold me, nobody control me. I'm coming! I'm here to do my thing, I'm here to bring the pain. I'm never ever gonna change. This is my world, my way, my life. And if I gotta do it, I gotta do it.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the MVP's Lounge. AEW Dynamite. Man, just complete chaos to start this show out. Of course, you gotta have the Opps pulling up the crash out early, but we're gonna jump straight into that. All right, they put belt to ass tonight. Not gonna hold you. Not gonna hold you at all. Not gonna hold you. All right. We opened the show with Tony Schiavone pretty much putting over, all right, today's the day. We're going to try to build towards the blood and guts for next week. And we got to get the advantages going. So tonight we're going to have men's matches and women's matches that pretty much, it'll be a best of three, best 2 out of 3 pretty much. So if the men get 2 wins this week and if the women get 2 wins, whichever side gets the first 2 wins, pretty much get the advantage for blood and guts for next week, so on and so forth. But before he could really dive into that, the Opps pull up and Samoa Joe wants smoke because of what happened last week. He had the whole trickery with Hangman dressed up as him, so he wanted to put some hurt in, no pun intended for the Hurt Syndicate, but the Opps wanted to hurt the hell out of Tony Schiavone here. And of course Hangman wasn't going to have none of that. And of course, the rest of his squad, Hook and Eddie Kingston, it wasn't going to have none of that for tonight. So they pulled up. And of course, Hook decides to pull up on the mic and say, hey, we already got a trios match tonight. Since you guys want to be, loudmouths, why don't y'all put those titles on the line? Why don't y'all put them belts on the line? And Joe wasn't having it. Joe was crashing out some more. And he said, you know what? Sure, we'll put the belts on the line. And while he was crashing out, both Hangman, Hook, and Eddie Kingston, they were just laughing at him in the ring. Big cheesing. They was just cackling. They were just having fun. And I'm just like, something don't seem right about this. Something don't seem right. And when you get to later on, you're going to find out, because all these smiles that they got, yeah, all that's going to go later on. Trust me. Trust and believe. All that's going away later on. So the match is booked for the main event tonight. Hangman, Hook, and Eddie Kingston versus the Opps for the trios titles. Boy, oh boy. Hey, those smiles are going to be gone pretty soon. I'll tell you that right now. But our first match of the night, we get Claudio and our boy Orange Cassidy. And remember how I mentioned how the blood and guts match, hey, this is part of the whole, all right, we're building towards who gets the advantage. So they start out first. And you're hoping that Orange Cassidy can get the win for the baby faces, so that they can, they can have an advantage for here. Not as the face, you would hope that, but the Death Riders, they listen. They ain't come to play tonight either. They didn't come to play, and Claudio pulled a heavy on Orange Cassidy. Cassidy was trying to get his hands in his pockets to get, we talk about superpowers, right? We talk about superpowers in DC and AEW being combined. Well, Orange Cassidy's superpower is getting his hands in his pockets. And any chance he got to try to put him in his pockets, Claudio was stopping him at every turn, stomping him, dropping him, flipping him, gut wrench, everything he could. Cassidy finally gets his hands in his pockets and is finally able to capitalize, but it don't mean nothing, man. It don't mean nothing. Claudio flicked this dude in the air like a sack of potatoes and uppercutted the hell out of him and got him back to paint. So Death Riders got first win out of the best of 3, and it's honestly up to Darby later on tonight to try to see if he can get a win to even it out for another match to happen on Collision between Moxley and Roderick Strong. But if Darby can't even it out, then the Death Riders, they get the advantage. So let's hope for the best for Darby. We get to a backstage segment. Actually, I really enjoyed this one. Only because, one, it was quick. We ain't got to hear too much of Mark Briscoe. We already know how I feel about him. But Mark Briscoe, as we all know, wants a TNT title shot. Of course, yes, he got robbed. We know. The world knows. Briscoe says, listen, we can have this match and it can be a no disqualification match. I don't care what it is. I just want a title match with you. Don Callis says, you know what? Hey, Kyle, we should really do this match. We could do this no disqualification match. But then Don Callis decides to point out to Mark Briscoe that, okay, look, we'll do this no disqualification match for the TNT title. But if we end up winning, you have to join the Don Callis family and lead the conglomeration. Now, see that. That's a very interesting stipulation. And I'm only saying very interesting because when you look at the Don Callis family, they don't got any depth to them. Not in people, but as in character-wise. As in, like, personality. Because everybody else in there outside of, like, Okada and Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher are kind of like puppets in there. They kind of react to things. So for you to get a Mark Briscoe and do an angle where, like, he's forced into the Don Callis family, he's got to actually, show some difference. Kind of like how, I don't want to give it a full-on comparison, but when you took a Bryan Danielson and you threw him into Wyatt's and he had to, like, change characters, I kind of want to see something like that with Mark Briscoe, where he has to, like, now be forced to change into something else that he's not. I kind of like that dynamic. I would like to see something like that, because again, Don Callis family means all or nothing when you have like 80,000 members, but for the ones that actually do have character and development in there, it'd be nice to see. So I'd like to see that actually. So yeah, W segment out of these guys. Yeah, we don't need Mark Briscoe to hold his L, so we can throw him in there because God knows we don't need TNT champion Mark Briscoe. God knows that. Match was advertised for Full Gear. We get the Bucks and Josh Alexander against Kenny and Jurassic Express. $1 million is on the line. Man, this man Tony Khan just got money to throw away, don't he? We go ahead and get this AEW contract for myself because he just be throwing money like it ain't nothing. So $1 million. The Bucks could really use this $1 million. I'll tell you that. They could really use it. And they're also low-key considering joining the Don Callis family, but they're kind of still hesitant on it. They're still hesitant. I think they're still in that form of they're trying to turn the Bucks face in this situation, but we're going to see when it happens. It might go down at Full Gear, if I'm being honest with you. It might go down at Full Gear, but we'll have to wait and see. Something else happens later on tonight, something very small, but it's a little, again, more teases towards trying to turn the Bucks into baby faces. We'll see where that ends up going, but this match is at Full Gear. It's going to be fire. I'll tell you that. It's going to be fire. Now, what was also fire? Ooh, this right here. This was a godsend. I prayed for times like this. You don't know how much times I prayed to every voodoo doll, every magician out there. I prayed. We get Mercedes Moné and Athena versus Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. Fantastic match between these 4 women. Okay. Fantastic match. Honestly, Athena and Mercedes, with how many shorts? I think they only tagged. This is probably the second time tagging together. And they look like a well-oiled machine more than Harley and Willow. And they've been tagging way longer than these two have. So it looked kind of weird a little bit. But regardless of the fact, Athena and Mercedes were dominating hella. Harley Cameron was catching all kinds of work. They was having her take all kinds of bumps this match. But shouts out to Willow, man. Willow, we some of y'all don't understand how great Willow is, but don't worry. When the video drops, you'll know. Trust me. I got some stuff in the archives. It's gonna be dropping very soon. Trust me, believe. Wait and see. But man, Willow with the pounce to save Harley from getting tapped out, and Athena's strength to carry both Willow and Harley was nuts. She had Willow on her shoulders and then had Harley in like power slam position and just was able to hold up both women. I'm like, yo, all right, hey Athena, hey, do your thing, man, do your thing. But unfortunately, when Athena was coming close to losing, of course she calls out Billy Starks to assist, and Billy Starks gets dropped by Chris Statlander. They get distracted. Mercedes gets chased. It's just Athena left in the ring, and Willow and Harley capitalize, and they take her out for the win, effectively eliminating Mercedes and Athena from the tournament. I begged for this. I begged. I needed this to happen. God knows Mercedes don't need no more belts. Now, of course, she'll find a way to get more, but I did not need her to get these tag team belts. I said I needed her to lose round one. I needed Willow and Harley to go on, and I got exactly what I wanted. It almost brings a tear to my eye. Not gonna lie, almost brings a tear to my eye. So, congratulations to these two women. They get to go on to face the Sisters of Sin. Oh man, just greatness. I love it. But I'm about to tell you something that I do not love, and some of you might not love either, if I'm being honest with you. Tony Khan is going to be creating a new title. Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. Come full gear, they're gonna be running a casino gauntlet match for the new, what he's calling it, national. What do they call it again? Hold on, let me double check my notes here. Yeah, the AEW National Championship. It's pretty much going to be a belt that can be defended anywhere in the world. So similar to the NWA National Championship, pretty much. I don't know. I'm not with that, man. I'm not with that. It's and the belt look nasty. Yeah, it's look. That's not it. Yeah, but it's just not. I don't know. I'm just not with it. You already got your unified title. You already got your TNT title. You don't need to continuously add belts. You just got rid of a bunch of 2 other belts to combine into one, and now you're about to add another one. Like, my thing is this: if you're gonna add another belt, change the stipulation to it. See, here's what I would do, right? If I'm creating this new belt, what I would do is this: you take this belt as like a Money in the Bank style belt. Okay, you take this belt and you pretty much say, I don't know, you can make something up. You could be like, all right, how about whoever wins this title, they must successfully defend it 5 times. And when they defend it 5 times, you ain't gotta make it 5, you can make it 3. Doesn't matter. Whenever they successfully defend this belt, whatever amount of times you want it to be, they can now cash that belt in for a title shot against a world champion. Make that kind of like the Gift of the Gods title that you had in Lucha Underground. Something different. Just because, like, you already got so many belts as it is. Trios, tag, TNT, unified. Sometimes you even should throw the ROH in there. The women's belt, the TBS belt, new women's tag team titles. You got so many belts, man. There's only so much you can do on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just keep throwing things in there. All right, because now you're gonna be shooting. Think about it. You're gonna shoehorn this belt where? On Collision, where not many people are watching, regardless. So you think that's gonna like bring people in? It's not. I can tell you this right now, it's not. During this segment, they pretty much put over that Shelton and Bobby are gonna be in that Casino Gauntlet match, and Ricochet says he's gonna be in it, involved, and he's gonna make sure he wins. And spiel, yada yada yada. But the overall consensus of this whole thing is we didn't need new belt. We didn't need it. All right. Jack Perry leaves $100 outside of the Don Callis room where the Bucks are chilling in. So he leaves $100, puts his knife in it, let him know, hey, you don't gotta sell out to him. All right, we could slide you a little bit of cash. You know what I'm saying? Like just something to think about. Again, planting more seats towards that babyface turn at some point. Don't know when it's gonna happen. Don't know when it's gonna happen at all. But again, it could happen at Full Gear. So let's see where that ends up going. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? Anything could happen, honestly. Anything could happen. We then get to Darby versus Daniel Garcia. Now, Darby Allin has to win this match, or Death Riders and the rest of them, they get their advantage. So Darby is going into this match with everything on the line here for his squad, and hey, he puts in the work. He puts in the work, but Garcia Garcia ain't no slouch. Yes, I get it. He used to be dancing all stupid, but hey, he ain't no beat, man. He beat Bryan Danielson before. He's done these things. He's putting in that work in the Continental Classic. He was a former TNT champion, and he was putting in that work on Darby Allin. Almost let the man started bleeding once he put his head in between the steel steps and then drop kicked his head. Like it was nuts. It was nuts. Now of course Pac shows up to interfere and cause some problems, and Darby almost gets counted out. He gets back in the ring and eventually locks in the Scorpion Deathlock once he reverses the one that Garcia put on him. And he forces Garcia to tap out. So shouts out to Darby, gets the W, but then of course Death Riders pull up. They stomping on Darby. Then out comes the conglomeration to assist. They were getting stomped at first until Roddy pulls up and knees Moxley in the face. But when he does that, the rest of the Death Riders kind of just disappear and like start running away. And I'm like, there's still like 5 of y'all against one person. Y'all could have still jumped him, but neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. We're gonna let Roddy have his moment and drop his beat. So Roddy versus Moxley is set for Collision. So winner of that match will pretty much decide the fates of who gets the advantage. Mox is definitely winning that match, by the way. Just give you the heads up now. Don't even have to process that, but just Mox is winning that match. All right. Death Riders are getting the advantage. No ifs, ands, or buts about that one. All right. So I'll give my I'm gonna give my least favorite segment. Well, yeah, least favorite segment of the day, pretty much, was the Brodito and FTR segment. FTR is pretty much calling out Brodito to do a nice little handshake, quotation marks, on that one, but they actually really locked them in their locker room, and they wanted to just insult their family that was in the front row. Well, Bandito's family in the front row. So they go over there. They're insulting his abuela. They're insulting his sister. They're insulting Gravity. That's also there. Well, also, what happened with Gravity? Gravity just don't wrestle no more. That's it. Like, GG's for that twin. Like, dude just don't wrestle. But he was out there. Gravity was taking all kinds of disrespect. I'm like, sir, fight back. Like, these dudes are roasting your family like right in front of you. Eventually, he does fight back, but then he starts getting stomped out, and they about to power drive dude into the mat. And as you clearly can see, Brodito, they're able to escape that locker room. And they are able to run off FTR. So, yeah. I mean, the segment kind of went a little bit too long with the insults and all that stuff from FTR. I was like, this is kind of dragging just a little bit. Y'all gonna need to speed this one up for me. Speed this one up, please. Please. Doing just a little too much here. Tony Khan, gotta get better with your timing. Some of these segments, they kind of, not all of them, but some of them. Sometimes they'll drag on. You know the ones. We all know the ones. Right? So the next match was supposed to be Queen Aminata versus Megan Bayne for the beginning portion of that women's gauntlet match. That's what it was supposed to be. But unfortunately, Queen Aminata is hurt. which sucks because I swear to God, I could have sworn she was just fine. But Queen Aminata is hurt, unfortunately. So we now get Mina Shirakawa subbed into her place. Toni Storm goes out there to support, Mina. Toni Storm is fantastic on commentary. She just says whatever she wants, and it's just fantastic. Mina and Megan Bayne are having a phenomenal match, to say the least. And then out of nowhere, I blinked for a second. I looked down on my phone, and then I just hear somebody getting choked out. And I look up, and it's Marina Shafir choking out Toni mid-match. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, yo. And Marina was wearing a jersey for some reason. I don't know, no clue why. She was wearing a jersey. And then Mina gets distracted, and then gets Liger bombed and gets pinned. And of course, Toni tries to assist, but she's getting beat. And then all the women come out, and then the rest of the blood and guts formation is set. Pretty much the line is drawn. So, we get the, I want to say final snapshot, but close enough to the final snapshot of what everything's going to pretty much look like. So with no Queen Aminata involved in this situation, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have Mina Shirakawa, Chris Statlander, Harley Cameron, Willow, Toni Storm, and Jamie Hayter up against the Triangle of Madness, which is Thekla, Sky Blue, and Julia Hart, Megan Bayne, and Mercedes Moné. So that is the squad for Blood and Guts. So we'll see how that turns out for them come next week. Because next week about to be crazy. I'll tell you that right now. Next week is about to be wild. But we have now reached our main event of the evening. The match we've all been looking forward to for tonight. Trios titles are on the line. The Opps face off against Hangman, Hook, and Eddie Kingston. And as you can recall, very, very vividly, you remember me telling you, them boys were just cheesing, right? They was cheesing. You remember, right? I spoke on it earlier. They was cheesing. They was laughing. They was big cheesing. They was happy as hell one day. Boy, I tell you. Them niggas got whooped. I said it. Them niggas got whooped. Belt to rear. Just low. Hook got destroyed early on. Straight up backbreakers from Powerhouse Hobbs left this dude incapacitated for like 85% of this match. Eddie Kingston was getting worked hella. Hangman tried his best to like carry the team on his back, but that listen, it didn't matter, bro. It didn't matter at all. He was what he was trying to do. All right, because they thought they was being cute. He was trying to go for his bug shot and have Eddie Kingston go for his back fist. Nah, Hobbs was like, hell no, we ain't doing none of this. Slammed him on the apron twice, slung him out onto the ramp, then pounced him to the top of the ramp. I'm like, yo, this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand. Hook's still dead. Hook don't know what the hell to do no more. Eddie Kingston's left alone, and then of course, Hobbs, he got rid of that boy.
Excuse me, the Hobbs intercepts the third one. Oh no.
Jesus. Kills off Hangman. Kills him. Gets him out the paint. You're left with just half dead Hook and half dead Eddie Kingston. And as Eddie Kingston's getting stomped out in the corner, Hook blind tags himself in, tries to get Hobbs in the red room. Don't mean nothing. He can't do nothing about it. Hobbs picks this dude up and has him in a torture rack. And Hook is forced to submit. So the Opps retain in just lethal fashion. Just belt to ass, man. Just, oh my God. Just complete and utter destruction. Yeah. That team did not fit. That team did not work out. Remember I said it? Hold on. Let me go back. Is it still up? That's what got it up? Oh, no, I definitely still got it up. Yeah. Remember all them smiles and cheesing they was doing early on tonight? All that smiling they was doing? Yeah, look at you now. Look at you now. Look at you. Look at you now, boy. Look at you now. Looking trash. Tony Khan did set it for next week though. During Blood and Guts, not during the match, but during the show, it is official. Falls Count Anywhere match. Hangman Adam Page versus Powerhouse Hobbs. So we about to get some just death on this show. Next Wednesday, look forward to death. That's all I gotta say. Look forward to death. All right, because it's on its way for everybody on that show. And that's how AEW Dynamite goes off the air. Thank you guys for joining me today in the MVP's Lounge for AEW Dynamite review. Solid show. Give it about like an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10. And outside of that FTR Brodito segment, that one went over for weight. That one kind of just did too much. Outside of that segment, it was a solid show. I mean, I had no problems. Again, these shows kind of flow by quickly for me. When it comes to AEW, like the 2 hours don't feel like 2 hours. They feel more like an hour and like some little bit of change. Like you don't feel like much. It kind of just flows by. Maybe it's because I watch it ad free. I feel like if there was ads, it might feel a lot longer, but that's just me. All right. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that belt gimmick we about to start creating again, and not a fan of that segment with FTR and Brodito. Outside of that, hey, no complaints out of me. So y'all let me know how you felt about it in the comment section down below of this live stream. I don't go live as often. I think I need to start going live more. I'm also trying to make more videos, so we'll see how. Probably do it randomly. Like today. Today was random, and I enjoyed that. I did it randomly, so thank y'all for joining me today in the MVP's Lounge. I'll be back with some more vids this week. The first Build a Star video. The very first Build a Star video will be dropping tomorrow. I'm gonna drop that thing tomorrow at, let me think. What's a good time? I'm gonna drop it around lunchtime. People gonna be on their lunch. They might want to watch a little vid during lunch break. Yeah. So I'm gonna drop it around lunchtime, around 12:30 p.m. tomorrow. 12:30 p.m. Central Time. So Eastern Time probably at 1:30. So lunch for some people still. So I'm gonna drop my first Build a Star video. Y'all check that out. And I will see you guys here next time. Peace. Let's watch Hangman die one more time.
Excuse me, Hobbs intercepts the third one. Oh, no.